Athletic was initially producing Fairtrade footballs, and eventually we turned to classic Chakhs.
Hi, my name is Van Bo. I'm an architect, and I can't, in good conscience, buy these shoes anymore.
We place great value on Fairtrade resources and processing.
And that's when I thought, bingo, 500 pairs of shoes, I want one, so I just need 499 more people so we can set up the shoe production together. And that's when the world's very first crowdfunding project was born, Chakhs. We'll prosume the shoe ourselves. And then came Marc's crucial phone call, and Marc, he just got the whole idea right away.
I'd be so happy if you, with your network, could bring in new ideas and a breath of fresh air.
What I'd really like to do is meet the families, the people who stitch together these riches for us, because I believe it's good if we here in Europe have a better connection with these people who are producing all our goods, if you want. India was a total culture shock for me. It was your first time in India too, right?
Yes.
We were walking in the streets, and it was amazing to see how they live over there in such poverty. There was a totally different pace. The air had a different feel to it. It was hot, crowded. It smelled good. The food was actually super tasty, and the people were just really, really friendly. In the end, it was just a case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. We should have gone to West India, but went to the east at a totally wrong time when the cotton harvest had already been fully picked. In other words, a complete failure. Eventually, we did visit the right company in India, the one that does a lot of great fair trade and organic projects, but it doesn't produce the material we need for the Chakhs. In Sri Lanka, we wanted to meet the producers of natural rubber, in other words, the tappers, and we wanted to visit a cooperative and a company that processes the rubber in accordance with fair trade rules. I really didn't have a clue how much skill a tapping requires. It's actually a work of art. You need artistic craftsmanship to cut the tree in spirals so that it continues to give off rubber milk over and over again. One wrong cut and that's it.
Yes.
The tree will grow pimples and bulges and stop dripping milk. Sri Lanka was such a great experience. The people are, I don't know, I got the feeling it's because of Buddhism, which is so much part of everyday life, that the people are kind of grounded in a kind of karma philosophy. And when we were at the tailorist at one time,
yes,
we met some tailors in the street, and by the way, we kept meeting so many people in a small shop, in a restaurant,
at the temple,
and we got talking. And the tailor, can you remember what he said?
If you're happy, I'm happy.
Exactly. He hardly spoke any English. All he said was, you happy, I happy. Amazing, right?
A very simple philosophy of life.
Absolutely. Initially, I wasn't so sure if the production was really based on what I'd call a karma concept. So we went to Pardemia to Rosiva, and it became immediately obvious that that was a real cooperative.
Exactly.
With an elected president, he was 80 years old and had a wooden leg. And that's where we produce shoes. Kind of funny when you think about it. He himself doesn't have that many feet, just the one, but he makes sure that all these people get their shoes with the India rubber soles. It was quite obvious that the people there weren't just doing it for the business, but to help their little community. And they help in whatever way they can. They set up a small bank, they build a biogas plant, they make sure the auctions are organized in such a way that the farmers get much more of the proceedings and become more independent from world market prices. It just had a good feel about it. They collected the fair trade money in order to build a little house.
I think, well, here's my personal take on this. Sure, they also want a bit more wealth, but none of them have the mindset of wanting to overly exploit or cash in on everything for all it's worth. They just want things to work well, and they want the whole thing to develop gradually. I think that's the difference to what we see over here most of the time.
I think we cannot solve our economic problems with the same methods that caused these problems in the first place. I didn't come up with this. It was actually Einstein who said that. I love that quote. And if the problem in our world is injustice, and we keep on moving production and manufacturing that we don't like doing here to low-wage countries, and we need to sell more and more to produce enough wealth, well, then that's a kind of economic method that I don't want. In Pakistan, I learned that it's okay that some cultures are wired in a completely different way. Of course, it's not really for us Europeans, walking around in veils and all, wearing the same piece of clothing, a so-called shalwar kameez. There's just one style, maybe some variations, but just this one basic design in 20 colors. And the whole country wears this shalwar kameez. For us Europeans, this might seem strange at first, but once you get a feel for the mood in the streets, in the shops, in the factory, there's actually something very peaceful about it, you know?
Absolutely.
To see that everyone is kind of the same, maybe dressed in different colors, but essentially they're all wearing the same. So you can't see from somebody's clothes if he's rich or poor or evil or whatever, or where he's from, if he's a manager or a beggar. At first glance, they're all on equal footing. And to be honest, I really like that. Well, at Talent Sports, it was very interesting to see that you can actually do mass production without having to bully people.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't really get a sense of, hey, hurry up, pay attention, man, you just messed up and stuff like that. Well, maybe they were a bit more relaxed because we were there, but...
They're actually always late with their delivery.
Okay. But I really appreciated that they were not being bullied.
Yeah.
And Kaiser Iqbal, the manager at Talent Sports, he said that he tries not to treat employees as machines, but as family members.
Yeah.
And that's why you pay attention when a family member worries because his son can't walk anymore or his daughter has leukemia. And that's why you do care and think about what to do about it, like arranging surgery, setting up a medical camp, or calling in a doctor and so on. There's a kind of caring atmosphere there that I really like. It's almost like you're in a bakery. I feel like I'm a cook with a big team of other cooks assisting me, and we're baking a shoe together. And that's actually what's happening here. There is an oven back there where right at the end the shoe is vulcanized. Basically, the shoe and the natural latex get glued together. And the fabrics are punched out with something like a cookie cutter. And there's a kind of dough, the rubber needed for the soles, that is mixed from different ingredients, following a specific recipe. So it's actually a bit like cooking, together with a big team. Pretty motivated team. And because it's like cooking, I'm looking forward to dine with you later.
Gemeinsam später mit euch zu speisen.
The trip was absolutely exhausting. There were 3 countries we wanted to visit: India, Sri Lanka, and Pakistan. India was a slap in the face for us because we were there at the wrong time with no cotton available due to our bad timing. Pakistan is our last stop now, and it's such a relief to see that everything's working finally, because when you start a journey without having been to any of these countries, you have no idea if it's true what the people tell you. I feel really good now and relieved that this shoe is or might be a first step towards a healthier kind of economy.
Vielleicht gesündere Wirtschaft.
These trainers are made from Fairtrade cotton. They're Fairtrade certified, produced in India, manufactured in Pakistan. The soles are made from Fairtrade India rubber, also FSC certified. and the supply chains are all sustainable and fair.
I really believe it's a good thing that we here in Europe establish a better connection with the people who are actually making all our goods.
We're
having a packaging party, and that's the last step in this value chain. The shoes have arrived, you brought them here in the athletic bus, and now we're putting on the addresses and add a small booklet to every shoebox, explaining the history of the Karma Chakhs. We're wrapping the boxes in newspaper that we collected on our trip, and with this, we complete our project. It's just a feeling. You feel that it's good for yourself, your friends, your family, your colleagues, your staff. You just feel that it's right. You have a good feeling, as it were.
Have a good feeling.